Hey guys, welcome back. This is Autobot JCB here again for another How to Transform video. Today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to transform the 2004 Transformers Energon Omnicons. These Omnicons are Signal Flare, Skyblast, and Strongarm. The Omnicons in the Transformers Energon series, in my opinion, are some of the most important characters because the Omnicons, in addition to the Terrorcons, are the only Transformers that are able to directly handle raw energon. If the Autobots or the Decepticons try to handle it, it can actually harm them. I think that's interesting considering that their bodies run on energon. But I guess the Terrorcons and the Omnicons are the only ones that have the ability to refine energon to make it safe for the Autobots and Decepticons to use. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you how to transform all three of these figures, and then I'm going to show you each individual bot's specialized energon weapon. And then if you guys stick around towards the end of the video, once I get these three done, I've actually got a bonus transformer that I'm going to show you. So you guys can look forward to that. But for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with Signal Flare. And so I'm going to set Strongarm and Skyblast off to the side and bring Signal Flare in for a close-up. As you can see here, Signal Flare turns into a pretty neat radar truck. He's got the big dish mounted on the front of him, and one thing that's nice is that if you raise and lower the crane arm that the dish is attached to, it actually rotates a little bit. And if you swivel it back and forth to the right, it also spins, just not by much, but just a little bit. It is noticeable. But anyway, so like I said, he turns into a radar truck. I think that the amount of detail they have on this figure is actually pretty good. Like the amount of detail they put into like the tank treads and all the gears and mechanisms inside. And then like on the dish, you can see like the different what would be the different sensors for picking up energon signals, stuff like that. But anyway, so to get this one started, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to go ahead and take off the red pieces that are on either side of him. We're going to go ahead and set those off to the side because we're going to be using those later. The next thing you'll do is if you raise up the crane arm and you actually look right here, you'll see this little energon chip. Go ahead and remove this as well. I'll show you what's up with that in just a little bit. So he should look like that, kind of bald looking. So to get this one transformed, the first thing you're going to want to do is if you take the headlights right here, go ahead and flip these down, all the way down, just like that. And then what you do is if you take this section right here, pull it out to the side a little bit, which will actually dislodge it from a pin. If you look right in front of my finger, there's the pin, and there's the port that it goes into right there. Go ahead and dislodge it, and then flip this all the way around, just like this. And then go ahead and flip this section up just like that, because this is actually going to be Signal Flare's leg. So we'll go ahead and dislodge the other part, and we'll bring this, oops, excuse me 1 second, I'm sorry. There we go. Bring that all the way down just like that, and then flip that up and around just like that. So far, his body should look like that. The next thing you'll want to do is if you take this entire section right here, go ahead and give it a quarter turn, so that way, if you're looking at his chest, this is on the right side of his body. The next thing you'll want to do is go ahead and take this arm right here and bring this all the way over to the side, and it'll click into place. It'll just kind of snap into place right here in this little, right here in this opening for it. Just go ahead and snap that in. And then what you do is take this entire section and push it down onto his body behind the chest plate, which will make his head pop through where the opening that the hooks right here actually came out of for his arm. So there we have Signal Flare transformed and ready to go. Now, like I said, the Omnicons, they have the ability to refine raw energon in order to help advance the Transformers technology, in order to help refuel Transformers. It even helps with healing Transformers in the Energon series, which I think is kind of a neat addition to the lore. So there's Signal Flare. And with the pieces that you took off of him, his Energon Star, like I've said in my other videos, the Energon chips or the Energon Stars, whatever you prefer to call them, can actually, in the series, can be launched from the Omnicons and be connected onto, here, we'll bring in downshift and I'll show you, can be hooked on to the similar looking ports that both the Autobots, Decepticons, Omnicons, and Terracons all have these ports, and you can actually connect the Energon chip onto them. And then if you want, you can actually take the special Energon weapon that each figure comes with, and you can actually give it to the other figures in order to give them a little bit of an advantage in battle. As for Signal Flare's Energon weapon, that is actually these two pieces. You can actually connect them with that peg and that port right there, and this becomes an Energon shield. And for right now, we'll just go ahead and give it to Signal Flare. So there, he's got a little bit of an Energon shield, which I think is kind of a neat feature. It's not really something we're used to seeing. But anyway, so there's Signal Flare transformed and ready to go. We'll go ahead and give him his Energon chip back. There we go. Okay, so we'll set him off to the side, and now I will bring in Skyblast. Now, the name Skyblast you guys may recognize from one of my Transformers Armada videos. Skyblast is actually the name of one of the 3 minicons that make the Requiem Blaster. I do not know if the Omnicons have any type of relation to their minicon counterparts, given the name, like for instance, Skyblast. The reason I say that is because there are actually a couple of Autobots that are also named after minicons from the Armada series, like for instance, Prowl and Inferno. But anyway, so for Skyblast, as you can see here, he turns into a pretty neat jet with in my opinion, a cannon that's way too disproportionate to the design for his jet mode. But anyway, so to get this one started, we're going to first be taking off the barrel of the gun right here. Let's go set that there. And what you'll do is you'll take off the covers off of both sides of the wings. And then we'll go ahead and take off the Energon chip as well. And so Skyblast looks like that. So in order to transform Skyblast, the first thing you're going to want to do is if you take his wing right here and you pull it out to the side, just like that, that will right away reveal one of Skyblast's hands. And we'll go ahead and flip that one out just like that. The next thing you'll want to do is take this whole section and just fold this out. Excuse me, 1 second. Oh, one thing I forgot to do, make sure that before you start transforming, you go ahead and open these this claw on the underside of him. Otherwise, you can actually break the hinge. I do apologize for that. But anyway, so now that we've got that done, go ahead and fold out the engine off the side right here, and then go ahead and take the side of the claw and flip it all the way around to the side of his leg, just like that. And then we'll go ahead and flip these two pieces up just like this, and there we have one of Skyblast's legs. So we'll go ahead and bring the other one down, and we'll flip the claw all the way around, and then flip up these two pieces just like that. Pretty easy so far. The next thing you're going to want to do is if you take this whole chest piece and you rotate it, if you notice, it will actually make the entire head section flip around 180 degrees. And then what you do is you take this and you fold it up and then fold it down behind Skyblast. One thing you'll notice is that it's actually hinged into the back of his head. So yeah, make sure that you fold it up like that and then fold it behind him when you're when you're transforming him into his alt mode. Then what you do is go ahead and bring his arms down a little bit, give him that bend in the elbow right there. And then this is entirely optional. If you want to, you do not have to, but what I like to do is I like to flip around the wings on his arms, just so they're kind of up and out of the way, so he has more clearance for his hands. So go ahead and bring that down, flip that around. There we have Skyblast. As you can see here, he's got a pretty neat alt mode. I think his color scheme is... Actually, I don't know if it's just his color scheme or just the figure in general. He kind of makes me think of an earlier version of Jetfire. I can't think of what series it is. But I still think that Skyblast is one of the cooler Omnicon designs in my opinion. So there we have Skyblast transformed. And then the same thing, like before with Signal Flare, you have the Energon chip that goes with him. And when he gives his Energon chip to a larger Transformer, like one of the Autobots, he can actually give the character a specialized Energon spear. And in order to put that spear together, you will need the two pieces that came off his wings. And if you notice, there's a little pin right here and a little peg right here. And then all you do is you just line these up and stick these together just like this, because that is the blade of the spear right there. And then you'll notice that there are two ports right here. Those two pins right there at the back of the blade will just pin right into there. And there we have the Energon spear. And then the bigger Transformer can actually hold it either right here or right here. But frankly, I think holding it at this end would be kind of goofy. So there we have Skyblast and his Energon spear. Go ahead and stick that in his hand. All right, so there's Omnicon number 2. And now finally, we have Strongarm. As you can see here, Strongarm turns into a pretty neat Jeep. I think the amount of detail, especially since they made sure to add headlights, you've got the treads on the tires. I think that they did pretty good. Like, you've even got the jerry can on the back, which is neat. And then he's got this detachable piece is actually supposed to be like the spare tire, stuff like that. So in order to get this one started, what we'll do first is we're going to go ahead and remove the cannon off the top of him, just like that. We'll go ahead and flip this down, and we'll take off the Energon chip as well. And then finally what you do, go ahead and take off the spare tire piece right here. This piece actually, what it does is it splits into two, and just give me 1 second. It has a kind of a tight fit, so it's a little stubborn. I kind of have to rock it out of position, but it just splits into two pieces just like that. And we'll just go ahead and set those off to the side right now. Okay, so in order to get Strongarm transformed, as you can see, we've already got his head exposed. Go ahead and flip this piece up where the cannon is attached right there. And we'll make sure this is up out of the way. The first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and flip up these panels right here. Just flip those up out of the way. And then what you do is go ahead and take this entire section of his vehicle mode, flip down the windshield if you have to. Go ahead and flip this entire section around just like this, and then give it a 100. Oops, hang on. Oh, okay, hold on. So before you try and flip the waist around, make sure that you flip these tires out, because that's going to reveal his arms, just like that. I do apologize. I have not done these figures for a while. Go ahead and flip that around just like that. So we have Strongarm's arms out. Then what you can do is go ahead and rotate the waist 180 degrees. And then drop down the roll bar or the grab bar right there. And then go ahead and flip the windshield back down, and it will click into place because the windshield will become his feet. So there we have, oops, sorry, Skyblast. So there we have Strongarm transformed. Give me 1 second. I am so sorry. There we go. We have Strongarm transformed and ready to go. What is going on here? Oh, there we go. Sorry, guys. All right, so there we have Strongarm ready to go. Sorry. All right, so in addition to, just with the other two Omnicons, in addition to the Energon chip and all that stuff, you can attach that, and then if you take the cannon, you'll notice that there is a port pin here, or excuse me, there's a port here, and there's a port here on either side. You can actually see straight through it. You can actually take these pieces, and you can either put it on just like this, or flip it around and make it look a little more menacing. But when you put these pieces on, it turns his cannon into a giant Energon battle axe. There we have the battle axe right there. And just the same with the other weapons. Those can be mounted into the hands of the other Transformers as well. It's kind of a neat feature. I think Strongarm is definitely not an Omnicon that I would want to mess with, in my opinion. But anyway, so there we have all 3 Omnicons transformed and ready to go. And now what I'm going to do is the bonus transformer that I talked to you guys about, I'm going to bring that one in, or I should say her, and I'm going to show you guys how to transform Transformers Energon RC. She is actually the leader of the Omnicons. I don't remember exactly what her backstory introduction was. I think it was something about how she is considered something called an Omnibot, where she is not only an Autobot, but she's also an Omnicon. And I believe in the series, she can actually handle raw Energon just like the other 3. But anyway, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna take all the accessories off of her. So we're gonna take off the Energon chip first, and it's got a really tight fit on it. Go ahead and take that off, set it off the side, and we'll take off this exhaust pipe and this exhaust pipe, and we'll set those off to the side. There we go. We got our RC ready to go. So in order to transform RC, what you'll do first is you'll go ahead and flip the windshield down just like that. And then what you do is if you go ahead and take... Hey guys, sorry if the video just skipped. I had an issue with my camera. All right, so there we go. So we're back now. So if you take the windshield and flip it forward just like that, the next thing you'll do is you'll go ahead and flip this section down a little bit and then rock this out on its double hinge just like that. And you'll notice that a pair of high heels pop out. That is actually going to become one of RC's legs. What you do is you go ahead and flip the leg all the way around just like that. And we'll come around the other side and flip that partially down, flip that down, and flip that up just like that. And there's the other leg. Go ahead and flip that around just like that. Then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and flip her over just like this. And we're going to bring this wheel up behind her just like that. Get her legs as straight as possible. There we go. All right, and then this right here is actually going to be RC's chest. Go ahead and grab right here and here. And go ahead and pull these apart just like this. And flip this forward and flip this up. All right, so flip around, get that folded down, flip that up, flip that forward, and then we'll go ahead and flip RC's head up out of that gap right there, and then push the wheel the rest of the way up just like that. Pretty neat design right here. I honestly think that her head sculpt kind of reminds me of the G1 design for RC. If I'm wrong, feel free to tell me which one it looks like more. Now with her hands, there's really not a whole lot of articulation to it. They really just fold out of the edge here, but they're just on a little ball joint and just flip them out. And then if you turn them, it will actually make her fingers more noticeable because when they're flipped over the other way, they look like this. So we'll go ahead and fold that one out, give it a 180-degree turn just like that, and then just push it back into position. And there we have RC. Now, like I said, RC is one of the technically one of the Omnicons. She is actually she's actually the leader of the Omnicons, which I think is pretty neat. And then, like with the other figures, she also has an Energon chip. I don't remember if she has the ability to pass her Energon chip onto other figures, but we'll just go ahead and give this one back to her. And I will show you her Energon bow. So we'll go ahead and set her down just like that. All right, so the Energon bow is actually kind of neat. What you'll do is you'll take off the smoke, the exhaust pipe off of the back of the blaster right here. And we'll go ahead and take the other one off too. And then you'll notice that these weapons actually peg together. I haven't done this one for a while, so I apologize, guys. There we go. It pegs together with the peg that's on the side here. Go ahead and hook that together just like that. So it looks like that now. Then what you do is you take one of the exhaust pipes and make sure you have this L shape facing away from the blast from the where the missile is, because these are the arms for the bow that she can use. So go ahead and hook that on there just like that. And there we have RC's Energon bow. Unfortunately, because of how big the bow actually is, you have to put her arm clear out to the side in order to actually mount it in her arm. I think, if anything, they probably could have made it a little bit more, maybe a little bit smaller for her to use. But I still think that any Decepticon who comes across RC and she points this at him, I don't think they're going to have a good day regardless. But anyway, guys, so there is the 2004 Transformers Energon Omnicons. In addition to the Omnicons, like I said, I had a bonus for you. I've got RC. If you guys have any other ideas for other Transformers you'd like me to try and do, feel free to comment below, even hit that like and subscribe button, and hit that notification bell, and I will see what I can do to help you guys out in the future. Until then, bye.